y'all, this is Cindy. I'm the Tireless Tangler. I want to welcome you all back to the 100 Days of Zentangle Project 2021. Thank you all so very much for being with me today and each day on this journey. Our tangles for today are SHARD by Carole Ohl, CZT, and CIRQUITAL by Zentangle. All right, so new nails today. Pretty, right? I got a new guy. His name is Chung. He's awesome. I like him a lot. So we'll see how it goes. All right. So for today, I'm again going to do my squared off border as I have alternate plans for what's going on in the tile. Not big plans, just basic plans. So you might wonder why I have been doing some of the older patterns lately. It's because Linda Farmer can't keep up with me. and I need some things that I haven't done in a while. So yeah, that's why. That's really it. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in a string today, and I'm going to start a little bit down from my corner, okay? And I'm going to, let's see, and I'm going to draw a great big loop. And it's going to be circular, okay? And then I'm going to move over a little bit. I'm trying to decide whether I want to make the circle smaller or the outer edge larger. And the answer to that question is I do not know. I kind of want to do both. I think I'll do it like this. And so I'm just going to do what I would call ribboning. I'm just going to pencil in a ribbon shape in a sort of a circular fashion, and I'm going to take it out hollabaugh fashion underneath here. Does that make sense to everyone, I hope? So this is going to come in here. Yeah. I know. I won't. I thought about it, but I'm not going to. See the self-control. All right. I won't go crazy on you. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ink my inside line. So that would be, let me see if I can get a better picture of this. Oh, yeah, this is right. I'm using my black PN today. I think I completely forgot to say at the beginning I'm on an original Zentangle tile and I'm using a black PN, but I'm sure I will put up a graphic for you. All right, so on the inside track, I'm just going to redraw my string line. And I'm going to try to do as best a job as I can with that. As always, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like this, okay? And now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to take my time. Well, not quite as neat as I was hoping for, but this will do. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw in CIRQUITAL. And that is, they say, from the French word for circus, which is cirque, as we all know from the commercials. So CIRQUITAL has some claw-like things that come in towards the center, and then you draw them hollow boss style. And what I found in practicing this a couple of times first was that it can take a little bit of practice to sort of get the curve going right. And so what you want is as curvy or circular a line to start as you can. All right? And then it's going to look like this. Then you're going to shift your tile slightly and you're going to draw in another one, okay? And so I want you to get a picture in your head of where you're going to aim for. Okay. Like this. Shift your tile just a little bit. Have an idea where you're heading for. Don't forget to make them nice and circular. And the name doesn't come from circular. They say in their blog post about this tangle that it comes from the circus. And I can sort of get that from this. It's very fun and festive and sort of crazy and wonky. I like that. You guys know I'm all down with the wonkiness. Okay, so I want this to go like that. Okay, not so hard. So now I'm going to go ahead and play around in here first, okay? Because it's so much fun to embellish and I love it. Let me stop this from turning so I won't annoy anyone. So I'm going to start with my inevitable inner auras here. Because once you've got it aura'd on the inside, the sky is the limit. And you're going to love what we do in here. Well, at least some of you will like it. Somebody will give me a thumbs down, but that's okay. I can take it. Slow down. I gotta slow down and do my Simon and Garfunkel today. As I am all wound up. It was a tough day today. I woke up really nauseated yesterday and was throwing up and don't know what that was about. It lasted until the afternoon and I started to feel a little better, though tired out, of course. And today, and I just was, you know, I tried several times to get the video done for today, or your yesterday, my today, and I just was too tired, so I finally went to bed last night and got up first thing this morning after I took Mari to school and recorded the video, then went and got my nails done, then had spoke to my counselor, and then got right back on the video to edit. So it was kind of crazy, and it didn't go live until like 7:30 or 8 o'clock last tonight. So anyway, all right. So what I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to fill these with perk orbs, okay? And so those of you who have watched for a while, you know how those go. Simba, let's not bother Mommy. Mommy wants a whole video with no interruptions, although some of you crazy people really like the interruptions with the kid and the dog the dogs and all of that. So more power to you. I'm making these videos for you. Just kidding. I am making these videos for you because you're the ones that watch. Thank goodness for you. All of you that watch. Okay. So this is how I'm going to handle my little spears going in here. My little circuital spears. And then let's ink these little interstices in. Remember, the interstices are the little holes or the little gaps that the pattern leaves. Sometimes those can be really important. And anytime you add ink, you are adding drama, as Maria likes to call it. Maria Thomas, the co-founder of the Zentangle Method. When I talk about Maria, that's who I mean, Maria Thomas. Oh, this is just going on so smoothly, and hopefully, what I'm hoping is that by tangling this tile, I can start to relax for the evening, even though it's 10 o'clock at night or 2200. I'm hoping to relax so that I can get some rest. And I imagine this video will be up late tomorrow, even though I will do my best. But I have the kid at home for school tomorrow. And so that always takes up my mornings. We'll see what happens. Okay. All right, so let's do the next one. I think I'll start right here. That's a big one. Somebody's belly is talking to us. Not sure which one that is. Or it could be me. You never know. Okay. And see, this is going to be really effective. We're going to have some fun in these little gaps here as well. At least I am. I don't know what y'all are up to. What are y'all up to today? Thanks to those of you that actually answer those questions. I appreciate it, because I really do want to know what you're up to. Hopefully I'm not the only one that had a manicure today. Hopefully somebody else had their nails done. Because that's just a me thing that we shouldn't have to leave behind. It's a little bit more difficult drawing behind, but it can be done. It's not too hard. I have faith in you guys. So much faith. Shout out to Fran Tangles. I love your pictures of you and your grandma and your tiles together. That is the coolest thing that has ever happened. That is awesome. So you girls keep tangling together. I think that's just super. The fact that y'all do that is just awesome. And the fact that you share both of your tiles with me, that is even better. So I put those right on my story if you guys want to see Fran and her grandmother's tiles. They tangled with me together, which I think is awesome. And you can check them out. They're awesome. They're both really good. So I really enjoy seeing those. Thank you for sharing them with me. And if you are new to this project and you're wondering what I'm talking about, we get together and share our art with each other on Instagram. You can follow me. I am at the Tireless Tangler. Don't forget the, or it won't find me. Or you might find some troll trying to use my name like the last time. But we have it's nice. I see you guys commenting on each other's art. If you want to know who to follow that is also doing this project, then you can go to my profile link. And not my profile link, but in my profile, there's the third tab over there. Is all of y'all's art that you have tagged me with. And so you guys should check out each other's art. Okay, so now I had planned to do something wild and crazy. Wait, Simba is coming up to hang out. Come on, Sim. I got cold toes, buddy. Okay, I can't help you when you're like this, buddy. Okay, so Simba is not coming to join us. Instead, he's going to do that Eddie thing where he just stares at me. All right. So what I'm planning to do here is draw some aura lines. Because that's how I start most things. Now, in the step out for this, these are inked. I just don't know if I have the patience to ink them today. So I have a number of other things that I can choose to do with the internal ends of this. Let's go ahead and put our aura lines in. The only thing about using something different is that you sort of lose the cool effect here. Yeah. So maybe I do want to ink them. I can't decide. I'm deciding. I'm not sure which is inked here and which is not, so I'm withholding judgment right now. Okay, I just decided to change my mind and ink. So here we go. Let's chill out and ink a little bit. Remember to lightly hold your pen. I frequently go in little circles, just like I would with a colored pencil. It's a good way to sort of fill an area quickly and without streaky lines. Hope this is black and not sepia. That would just be the end of a perfect day. I hope you guys loved Fabricon as much as I did. I know some people aren't going to like it because it's a little thinking, but it's really, really not hard at all. It's a lot of inking, but you don't have to ink much if you don't want to. So I really, really like it. And my organic mind is planning some adventures with that tangle very soon when I have a minute to play. What I want to do is the round one with the little with the extended lines shooting off in all weird directions and doing weird things. I think that looks awesome. So I'm definitely going to be playing with that really soon. But thank you, Nadine, for being so generous as to share that gorgeous tangle video with us. And there is a link to Nadine's website on that video, and you can go and see the written step out for this tangle there if you like. Now see, this is why I inked this, because you're not going to get a result like that with something else. So let me go here and go back and go ahead and ink this. River's in there laying on the couch, probably got her feet up in the air, just sawing logs, snoring like a bear. You guys have told me so many cute stories about your pets. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your beautiful pets with me. If you don't have a pet and you struggle with loneliness or depression, you should get one. Dogs are awesome creatures. Cats are pretty snuggly if you're a snuggler. I like dogs because you can snuggle them and then they'll be all right for a while. They don't need to be, well, unless it's Simba. He needs to be in my lap. That's my buddy. Somebody saw Simba's picture and saw a dachshund in him today. A dachshund. And that has happened to me before, where I've seen a pet's face and you just have to sort of guess at the body, right? But no, Simba is a Rottweiler. He is a German Rottweiler, and he weighs 150 pounds. So not a little guy. I bet your little guy is cute. I used to live in a place with that had a couple that lived there that had a dachshund, and they were cute. He was a cutie. His name was Xander. He was a little cutie pie. Such a personality, that kid. Okay, so this is the reason I didn't want to ink it. Okay, where is my big pen from yesterday? So I'm going to try to carefully fill in with these. This is a graphic 3 from Sakura, so the same ink, but a really wide head. This is not my favorite pen. It's unwieldy, and I frequently sort of get messy with it. But to fill a spot like that, that's just needs a rich spread of ink, then this will work okay. Okay. All right, moving on. Thank goodness. I'm going to at least start the edges with the pen so that I don't have any unpleasant surprises. Okay, that's an R line that I need to ink over. I knew I'd figure it out. So when I'm in this kind of situation, what I do is I go around the edges real thickly with whatever ink pen I'm using. It has a smaller nib. And then I'll use the larger nibbed pens in the middle where I can't get into any trouble with it. Or at least that's the goal. Now, what the reality ends up being is something entirely different. We will see. And so one of the reasons that I don't like to fill with ink with a smaller nib pen is the almost inevitable pen strokes that are left in the, make sure I've got this where I want it. The pen strokes that are left in the big areas. And so I prefer to fill with something larger for that reason, that I don't get so much of that. However, you can still get them, and you have to be willing to go over things a couple of times and try to make sure that you've got all of your stars covered. It's my new favorite way to call that, or to call the little white spots that you get when you ink. At least that I get when I ink. Oh yeah, that looks good. And much less frustrating than using my PN. Okay, so this is much more dynamic with the inked areas, I think. And so I'm going to put in my edges, and then we will go from there. Of course, the thing you get with the smaller nibs is you don't get that bleedy look around the edges. You can get a much nicer, crisper line than you can with those big nibs, because they just sort of bleed ink and get all uneven everywhere. So it's a trade-off, like most things. Precision for quickness is a big one. Or the other way around, whichever thing is more important to you. All right, one more, and we'll be ready to move on to SHARD, which you guys are going to love, I think. It's very easy. Lots of fun with shading. So I figure it's a win-win. Okay, I'm going to be really careful. Be sure to turn your tile. Keep your hand in a comfortable position. All right. Yeah. Okay, I can get behind this. All right. Now, let's move on to shard. Grab my PN again. And I'm going to add those internal auras again on my ribbon line. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what the best way to handle this is for me. I don't know if this is reasonable to think that I can do this all the way around, but we're going to try. Wind is still blowing really hard outside. Goodness. Don't ask me what that was. That was me going, let's go to bed. Let's go to bed. And we will soon. We will. Remember, I leave those little gaps intentionally. They may bug you. They may not. I find that when you get to the end result, they matter not a little, or they make it look cool. So it's a trick I learned from Annie Oken, my teacher. She has tips aplenty. So if you really want to learn something cool, that's where you should start. Come on, Cindy, slow down. Okay, well, I've done better, but I've also done worse, so I'm not going to complain. And let's put a couple more right here. Ooh, that was kind of good. I know, even I'm impressed. Okay, and there we are. I'm back. Okay, now I am considering changing to my 01 for this. We're going to do a lot of aura-ing, and so I think I do want to do that. So Shard is by Carole Ohl, and it's pretty cool. Let's start right here and go around this way. So it basically starts from whatever edge you want. In fact, let's start from this one up here. And we're going to make a sort of a pointy little triangle. And we're going to ink it in. And then we're going to aura. Hopefully a little bit better than that. Taking our time. Now you can add as many auras as you like, or as few. That was one more than I wanted to add, or 3. Okay, so now I'm going to shift. Now I'm going to shift my position And I'm going to make another one someplace else. I can make it go a different direction. I can make them go the same direction. Whatever makes me happy, that's what I can do. And more R's. Sort of like crescent moon with a point, isn't it? All right. All right, and the last part of this, and I'll go ahead and tell you now, is to draw a straight line from the tip of this to the top, okay? And this is Carole's pattern facet does this. All right, let's put in another one, sort of pointed a different way. Let's point this one sort of straight. And it's like I said, you can point them whichever direction you want, in whatever way that you want. You can make them do as you will. So feel free to make yourself happy. You know that's what I want for you, happiness and peace, tranquility. Somebody hit the gong. I'm just kidding. I don't mean to be disrespectful at all. I just think sometimes I sound like a like a meditational video or something like that, and that's not a bad thing. It's just it was just a poor joke. Sorry. I won't do that anymore. I should have pointed this a different direction, shouldn't I? Well, yeah. We'll just do it this way and know that the next time we want to really have a difference between the direction that we point them. So I'm going to point this one straight out. And this is why I switched to my, switched my 0, 1. All these lines. All right, I don't know what I'm doing here. Whatever it is, we're going to lose it in the mess. All right. I'm just going to indulge myself in whatever direction I want to go. If I want them all to sort of point the same way, then I can do that. If I want them all to look different, I can do that too. Just whatever makes me happy. Okay. Let's see what happens over here. I know I need to fill this space up here, and I'm hoping that this will solve that issue for me. Yeah. Remember all those gaps I left? Yep, all gone. Now this is a very close cousin to Carole's pattern batten, which is a personal favorite of mine, where it's basically arid lines with no inked core, and they can just go willy-nilly wherever you want. I heard you snicker, Roseanne. Yes, I said willy-nilly. Enjoy. All right. I like that. I think I like it with fewer R lines, but that doesn't mean that these won't be really effective. So let's see. Let's add one more. And I've been forgetting my center lines. I got that one, but I forgot this. That's got it. That's got it. That's got it. Okay. All right. All right. Now, what to do over here? Well, I don't see why I can't put in another shard and just make it go off that way. And then do another one and make it go off this way. Let yourself feel the freedom that you can have. You can just do whatever you want. That's the kind of freedom that I really like. And don't forget, you can fix some of your, whoops, not like that, Cindy. I was going to say you could fix some of your line problems like that. That wasn't exactly the kind of fixing I was thinking of, but you live and you learn. You do lots of silly stuff. You learn a lot more. Hopefully. At least that's my goal. Okay, so I need to turn this. Let's do one over this way. Starting to all look alike. Which, again, not a bad thing, but not very interesting. That little spot just needed to be inked. Okay. And I suppose we could draw behind on this. Why not? Okay. I think I'm sort of approaching this as I do batten, which is to just shift my tile slightly and start the next element there. Which might work out. I'm really having trouble seeing, sorry. Losing the bifocals. Upside down sometimes is the best way to draw. It helps your mind's eye to, or your artist's eye, to see what is really truly there and not what it wants to see or what it expects to see, which is a pretty it's a pretty pivotal art lesson, actually, to look at things with new perspective and new eyes. And not always easy or comfortable to do. But I was surprised how much difference it made in my ability to recreate the lines correctly. I'm thinking I may ink this right here. And you know me, if I think it, it happens. All right. This is going to be cool, I hope. I hope it's not too much ink. I think it'll be all right. Carole was, or is such a good pattern person. She just sees them everywhere, and she's got a ton on her blog. I think it's called Open Seed Art. And there are many, many links to her site on Tangle Patterns because she has so many patterns on there. You can just look up this one and go right there. I have to give Linda Farmer some serious props for the job she does, not only keeping her site updated, the tangles updated, but linking all of the information to them is just incredible. Like that she had Margaret Bremner's and then some article on Shattuck linked into that, and the Shattuck article was almost 11 years old. I mean, that's, to me, that's incredible. She had all of the Zentangle project packs and what was listed on each one. I mean, it's an incredible amount of work and cataloging, and she just does an amazing job. So shout out Linda Farmer. Thank you so much for the work you do. It was pivotal to me as a beginning tangler. And I found so much useful information about Zentangle there. And that wasn't something I was getting in other sites at all. So I really appreciated it. And each one of those articles has such a rich heritage of history and ideas, and anyway, it just didn't mean, I didn't intend for this to be a testimonial for Linda, but she just does an incredible job, and I just want to give her some props. I think people use her site constantly and forget to stop and drop a comment or give her some positive feedback, and it's really important to someone that does such a labor of love, to let them know that it's appreciated. So that's my 2 cents that we all know is worth nothing these days. But that's okay. Now, I will tell you, these don't have to be perfect, guys, at all. And shading is going to be so much fun on this. And I'm just going to fill up where I need to with lines. Again, I doubt anyone will even notice because we've got lines going in every possible direction here, which is kind of cool. I think I'm going to like the way this turns out. At least I hope I do. We're about to find out, aren't we? Because we are on the home stretch. Forgive the baseball terminology. But living in America. I know we're all kind of screwed up like that, but there we go. So you guys that liked Fafrican from yesterday. Be sure and follow Nadine on Instagram. She is Nadine Roller, CZT. Cologne, Cologne. That is where she practices, in Cologne, Germany. Or Köln, as the Germans say it. I felt so cheated when I first traveled to Germany to find that we had Americanized so many of their city names. It was very disappointing. I always felt strongly that we should call them what they're called instead of making different names. And I'm sure it was just done because we were too lazy to learn to pronounce an umlaut or something. So I know my people. I know how we are. We think we're more important than everyone else, and we try to change everything to please ourselves. And that's just not necessary. Sometimes it's really important to learn someone else's language, because with language comes an understanding of culture, and that's a very important thing, at least as far as I'm concerned. I was very proud of, when I lived in Germany, that I lived on the economy, as the military says, and I had German friends, I bought German clothing, I ate German food, I shopped in German stores, I did everything the German way. Took German transportation on the U-Bahn, and or that's their subway system or their train system, and you learn a lot like that. You learn a lot. Someday, I have stories. I have stories I could tell you. Not all of them good, but many of them. I had such good friends there. Lost one in a motorcycle accident. That was pretty tough. An amazing musician named Johannes Tuhl. And one of my music friends. We all traveled together a lot singing. And so, good friends, good times. But I believed very strongly then, and still do, that it is very important to experience a culture and a language that is not your own in order for you to understand at least a little bit what others go through when they're in your country and you're so frustrated with them for not knowing how to speak your language. I've been the foreigner, been the ugly foreigner, and yeah, I understand. I did everything in my power not to be the ugly foreigner, the ugly American. Just call them like I see them. And I was on the subway going home one day from work, and there were a couple of American servicemen riding on the train, and they were giving a German girl a really hard time, and I had finally just had enough. And so, of course, I switched to English and told them, that they were embarrassing me and my country by acting this way, and they should, learn to speak German so that the woman has the chance to tell them off in her language. And then I apologized to the lady, and and so they spent the rest of the trip talking to me instead of making all the women uncomfortable on the train. I'm not sure if that was the right way to go about that or not, but I can't stand the disrespect. I have an issue with that. Have you guys noticed that with Mari? Poor kid. He may never grow to adulthood. Well, I didn't do that very well, did I? It's okay. Filling in with lines, nobody will ever notice. That's what I say. Now, this is a busy, busy, busy bit of business here. And we're going to have to do some major shading in here to get some distance there. So let's do some shading and see what happens. Okay. We're right at 1 hour. So I'm using my 2B pencil, or my regular graphite pencil here for this, because this is going to require a lot of graphite. Okay, and so really going to put down a nice thick amount there. And also here, where we've got the overlapping, try not to scrub it across your ink. Remember, that makes it shiny, okay? Then the other place I'm going to want to shade pretty darkly is here on the inside track where this overlaps. Okay. And this is why these internal auras are so important. Because then you lose the definition of your space and what you're trying to do. If this pattern is up on this pattern, there is no way to tell what is going on there. Even with shading, I would imagine that's going to be difficult. Now, the other place we're going to want to shade here is where these overlap. And of course, the Mono Zero and I are going to have a meeting later on. We're going to be talking about y'all. Why don't they have one of me? They don't need one of you. Only I need one of you. I'm definitely going to need one of him since I'm using this pencil today. But I really did feel like I was going to need the extra graphite today. So we're going to find out what happens. Don't talk about me later. I know you're meeting. You're going to meet up and talk. All right. So I'm going to... Whoops. Forgot one. Yeah. Okay. So before I do any further shading, I'm going to blend this and sort of do a check and see where we're at. Here we go. Nice and dark here. Remember to shade the large elements first is always a good idea. And don't scrub across your ink. I know I keep harping on that, but I just can't stress enough that you will get yourself into trouble like that if you're not careful. All it takes is one time pulling up the tooth of your paper like that, and you'll go, oh, that's why. Yeah, that's why. Yep, that's why. Okay. Now, already here, I've got too much graphite going on, and I'll have to lift that out with Mono Zero. But, that's why we're careful. Oops, I forgot that side. Trust me, I've got enough on the tortillon to get around this twice. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to clean up some of this, of course. Okay, so the next thing we're going to shade, if I can do this without making a ginormous mess, we're going to see where these overlap and just a tiny bit on one side of this line that goes up the middle. Oops, I forgot. So this is what's going to happen, I'm telling you now. I'm going to keep finding these spots here everywhere. Where's my 01? Oh, there it is. I'm going to keep finding these spots everywhere where I haven't done my line. Let's just go through here and double check some spots. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I got them all. Let's find out. It's going to be fun. And if it's not fun, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, where was I? Okay, so now anywhere where these patterns sort of bump up against each other, preferably keep with where the lines are perpendicular. Hopefully I didn't do too many of these going the wrong way things. Anywhere the lines are perpendicular, and just on one side a little bit of this line down the center. This is tiny, careful work, and I should be using my F pencil big time. But of course, it is on that great big hiatus that my tortillons and pencils seem to have with each other every day, every moment of every hour of every day. They are out having a party together, and they're leaving me in here by myself. That's just mean. It's just mean. Can't you just hear the Congo line now? See the tortillons bending over backwards, going, yeah. Yeah, I know. Can't tell I'm tired, can you? I'm either quiet or punchy. And there's no telling the stuff that's coming out of my mouth. Of course, there's not usually any telling what comes out. I know my mom used to wish that less came out. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. I'm me, and I'm okay with who I am. And anybody that doesn't like it doesn't have to hang out with me. I'm definitely okay with that. It's my message to all of you young guys and girls. Don't be something for somebody else. Be who you are and don't apologize for it. Somebody somewhere is going to love you for who you are. It may not happen immediately. Certainly doesn't happen while you're a teenager, does it? But somewhere, someday, someone is going to appreciate exactly the person that you are. You know, it may be a significant other. It may be a child. It may be a dog or cat. Someone is going to care for you and love you. So love the dogs and the cats back. And they need it. They need love as much as we do. I believe that. The pet population problem is a terrible thing. So many of them are languishing in shelters somewhere. I just hate it. I hate thinking about it. It makes me cry sometimes. I get so upset. You know, pets are domesticated animals, are things that we as humans created in our need for help and protection and the different things, and we domesticated cats in particular, because we need snuggles. You know, I mean, dogs had other purposes, but cats are really, well, okay, cats were mousers, but they're really snuggles. I know somebody was petting those guys back then when they were supposed to be earning their keep, catching mice and whatever else, vermin. I guess mice are vermin. Okay, now the punchiness has set in, because I'm starting to stroke on a whole lot of pencil here. That's a very bad sign for me. It'll look cool until I get it spread out too far, and then we'll be in trouble. But by then, I'm probably going to be passed out asleep, and so I'm not going to care. Way too much graphite on this. So you guys let me know, how many of you guys are actually able to see your families regularly right now? I mean, are you guys having to stay isolated still from them? Or, I mean, I know here in the US, everybody's just doing whatever the heck they want, which don't get me started on that. But what about you guys in other countries? Because I know a lot of those places are a lot stricter than we are here. And, anyway, again, don't get me started. But I'm just wondering how many of you guys are able to, you know, visit with your grandkids or your kids or your you know, your grandparents or whoever it is that you love in your life, that you hadn't been able to see because of COVID. Are you able to see them now? I still haven't seen my niece and nephew. One of them is having a baby, and one of them just got married. Or rather got married in the middle of COVID last year on Facebook. Don't get me started about that either. I wish them all the best. Now there's another wedding in May, but I don't even know if that'll fly. So we will see. I keep feeling like I missed something somewhere. Well, I'm going to certainly have to find my highlights, aren't I? So I kind of think this is very cute. Now I may continue along here and embellish, add orbs, do something filling, but I sort of kind of like this the way it is. It's very simple, but it looks complex, and it's cute. It's kind of a little, yeah, it's cute. It looks like the head of a golf club. Is it just me? Anyway. I'm going to stop, guys. I'm really tired. It's 11 o'clock now, and I am ready to call it a day. Thank you so much for being with me today, and I am going to see you guys tomorrow for day 61. Thank you, and I'll see you then.